And one of the most interesting niche financial plans is when you go through a divorce. Now, we don't want to ever see anyone go through it, but if you do, like I think it's 50% of all marriages, unfortunately, you got to know what to do and how to handle that situation. And if it's not you, it's someone that you know. So we brought in our expert, our financial elite here, Justin Reckers, to help us with this. Justin, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me, Craig.
For the mistakes you see people making, I mean, because you're getting in there to give advice. And a divorce is a very emotional situation. What are some of the things that you've seen people do that you've protected them against?
Well, as you just mentioned, the emotional side of it can obviously bring people to make bad decisions because they're making emotional decisions when they should be making business decisions. Keeping the house when they can't afford to do so is a big problem.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people still wanting to do that. Getting bought out of a family business rather than maintaining some interest in it, because someday it may be sold for a lot more money than it's worth today. That's a big mistake that I see people make. And also just litigating everything and fighting too hard for stuff. Kind of forgetting the law of diminishing returns is really what it is. Sometimes you just have to say it's not worth it and stop fighting.
Yeah. Some of the stats you provided us recently are pretty astonishing.
Yeah.
I want to review them real quick. Go ahead. What do we got here?
Yeah, so 45 to 50% of all first marriages end in divorce, Craig. Interestingly enough, the more times you get married, the more likely you are to get divorced. So on the second marriage, the number is actually 60 to 67% of all marriages end in divorce. And on the third, 70 to 73% of all third marriages actually end in divorce. And
let me ask you this. What percentage of those people actually reach out for specific advice?
Probably still a small percentage. Out of that number, there's about 2 million people that get divorced in the United States every year. Only about 5% of all cases are really going to go to a full trial and litigate their full case.
What are some of the facts? I know we just went over the percentages, but you provided some facts here as well.
Yeah, interestingly, the baby boomer generation seems to divorce at a much higher rate than any generation in the past. You might say that's because...
As per capita?
Per capita, per marriage, yeah. There's a couple reasons. Number one, they get to the point where they're in their 50s, 60s. They actually are financially autonomous. So in other words, a husband or a wife who would have been a supported party can now leave and say, I've got enough money to support myself.
Got it.
Right, so that makes it easier. Plus, some of them will have already been divorced once before in their lives.
We'd like to give you a gift of our free report, Top 35 Divorce Financial Planning Mistakes. Please visit our website to download your free copy today.